Email from Jeffrey Epstein to Peter Thiel in 2016. As you probably know, I represent the Rothschilds' best client list in the world. Okay, so here's what the actual email says. From Jeffrey Epstein, February 20th, 2016. As you probably know, I represent the Rothschilds. I was hoping to figure out a way for the bank that has 160 billion management could do something in tech. Best client list in the world. Prehistoric products. It can wait. Good luck in... I don't have that, but I'll be in Europe again, 2028, then island. So if you want to come around the world going west, come to the island if you would like to meet in Saudi at the end of the month. What do you think he meant here? The other thing, prehistoric products.
Yeah, dude, what? Ancient relics? I'm not sure.
Some people were saying oil, but when we watch our video, the Rothschilds aren't really dealing in oil, right?
No, they did not. No.
They're more doing that.
That was already taken over by totally the Rockefellers, right?
Alien scientist friend of the show said that he thought it meant prostitution, right? Because they say prostitution's like the oldest profession or whatever.
So ooh, that's a good one. They do use code, right? For instance, like the Pizzagate stuff. Like you can look through there, and yeah, like in the news, will be like, "There's no mention of any of this stuff." But yeah, if you know the cipher is to use pizza, right? You have to know the cipher. So This is all like their little insider little talk about. These people are disgusting.
Tracy Scott says, "Oh shit, Shane! For God's sake, stay strapped." Chat, what do you guys think this means by prehistoric products? Let's read it again. As you probably know, I represent the Rothschilds. I was hoping to figure out a way for the bank that has 160 billion management can do something in tech. Best client list in the world. Prehistoric products. It can wait.
But then again, they did fund Rome, which would give them the access to the Vatican, which all the wealth of Rome sits below the Vatican. I'm not sure.
Gaudy B says dinosaur DNA ?
Probably.
Maybe something like that. Maybe Jurassic Park. Is this the Jurassic Park prequel?
If you don't think DARPA's in there, not making some dinosaurs, bro, 100%. DARPA is off. They're on the. They have labs like literally that float in the ocean and go by maritime laws, which means there are no laws. They're not making chimeras.
Says, you guys deserve more viewers. Thank you for that one. And they'll say old technologies that have been abandoned.
I agree with that.
Okay. I mean, what do they say with Bob Lazar, right?
Dude.
Prehistoric digs, right? That some of these UFOs have been found in archaeological digs, maybe something like that, or like Atlantean.
Where are all the Vimana at? Where are all the Vimana from the Bhagavad Gita? Right?
Yep.
Well, where is all this stuff? Obviously it was there. I mean, the freaking texts from 3,000 years ago were describing to you literally spaceships. And you're telling me these people lived in mud huts and are going to tell me about a Mercury engine drive? Get out of here.
Also, aren't they really obsessed, him and Ghislaine, with like Atlantis and all their submarine stuff? So maybe it is something like that. Some old Atlantean technology or something.
Dude, I mean, what? Why they're looking for this stuff? I think relics. I think what I was saying before and what 13's saying, relics. You know what I mean? And all these people look for relics. What the Nazis do, right? Look for relics. So with power, right? And it's not. I don't think it's that you're looking for a supernatural device, although it could still be supernatural, but just be science we don't understand. But take the Ark of the Covenant, for instance, that the Jews found, and it was probably a capacitor that was just zapping people at the high noon, but they saw it as the seed of God, right? So I'm sure they're looking for ancient technology. Of course, they're being with Atlantis, and I don't like saying Atlantis too much. I think antediluvian society before us that we use as Atlantis now. But definitely looking for this older technology. Tupa brings that up, in that tweet he made about what was going on 12,000 years ago and before with the different races.
Rich Universe says tools made by humans before written history, i.e. 30,000 years old. Nate C says, just subscribe to Panda. Thank you for consistency in the space. Yeah, I'm trying to be streaming more, so we're trying to grow this channel. Hopefully this one will be popping. One more on this one, then we'll continue. DTP says, I thought him saying it can wait, meaning they're prehistoric as in outdated, and what is really available makes them irrelevant.
Ooh.
Yeah, potentially. T. James says, Ghislaine's sub was named Atlantis. All right, let's continue along here.